Good morning, friend. Good morning. It's Sunday morning, and how are you? I hope you are doing well. I hope you're feeling all right and feeling much better. You know how that goes, though. That's a little bit loud, guys. It's like the whole viral funk, right? It is lingering still a little bit. It's mainly just this nagging cough, man, but it's much better. And I'm thankful for that. Uh, how are you guys? How are you guys doing this morning? We're going to tap in. This reading is going to be, we're going to continue the elements. We've tapped in with fire signs. Yesterday we spoke to earth signs. Excuse me, I always got something. My hydration. Where do we want to start? Water signs, come in here. We've got, you guys, my brain is not wanting to wake up and brain this morning. What are we doing? It is nice to get back to having better sleep, though. How are you guys sleeping? Are you having dreams? My dreams have been kind of quiet, but I think my body is just so exhausted now that I can sleep through the night and not wake up like gasping for every breath. My body is just passing the fic out. So get in here and get your Palo Santo smudge. I threw off our focus, I think. How are you feeling, water sign family, or anyone in general? If you felt called to this video. Again, sorry, water signs are going to be Pisces. They're going to be Cancer. They're going to be Scorpio. And we always talk about, you guys, you can look at your sun, moon, and rising placements. You can, I really feel like Mars and Venus are applicable too sometimes, but definitely your sun, moon, and rising water signs come in here. We're going to see what type of messages Spirit wants you to hear and be activated by today. Thanks so much for being here. If you came to hang out, we appreciate you and we love you. If you click the like button, if you feel activated, if your intuition finds something helpful, if you have a synchronistic moment, or you just want to offer free support, it's not a monetized space here, but when we like a video, when we comment on a video, it really confirms alignment in our own reality. And then we can further align our energy. If you click subscribe, obviously, then you'll know when I upload videos. So that's great. Excuse me. Listen, I'm going to be I always am, but I'm going to be sipping a lot and trying to stay hydrated because, like I said, I'm still recovering from this virus. Okay, water signs. Come on in. Let's talk about it. How are you? I'm so curious how you're feeling in a Capricorn stellium. 2 of those planets are going to be in the last decans of Capricorn soon. But we still have 4 planets in Capricorn, and a lot of people, I pay attention to, do a lot of one-on-one work, and I'm in these different creative and spiritual communities with lots of soul family, right? So, and this is kind of what I'm doing every day, and the feedback that I hear and the energy of what people are sharing, I'll say a lot, not all, right? Some are having a different experience. All of us find ourselves on different parts of our soul journeys, right? Because we incarnated into this experience, this go around anyway. That's how I see it. To have different types of contracts. And so, different people have done different levels of releasing things. I feel like there can be a level of just, how do we say, spirit, okay, the way that my ancestors and guides, y'all, let me set my intentions, because we already coming through with messages that I'm hearing clearly. Over here, we are always supporting, calling in our team. This is a very high, well-maintained energetic space that I bring messages and cards and astrology and teachings through. Okay. We are always connecting with our spirit team, our ancestors and guides, be they galactic or earthbound. We connect to the Davic nature's earth spirits, right? We connect to all archetypes and energies and activations here that serve the highest and best good and harming none. Okay, so just clearing the energy, okay? Clearing the energy here, setting our intentions. Water signs, I am like strongly drawn to. Oh, you guys, I'm tripping. It's the 111 portal today. Yes, 111 portal. I'm sure you'll see all kinds of beautiful imagery and people talking about the 111 portal. Look, if you're hanging out with me today and you're new, if you're a water sign, if you're just drawn intuitively to chill with me this morning and listen to this message, maybe you have a coffee or a tea, or it's timeless and you're listening to it at a completely different time. Over here, I love a good reason to set a beautiful perspective. I love, we don't have dark nights of the soul over here, friends. We don't have therapy. We love the quantum. We love the therapy. We love the spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I had a teacher who used to use this word salad bowl. We love a good salad bowl of things, okay? Because it all lands in the middle and connects. So, I always, when I work with people one-on-one, we talk about reset points in your day, right? So when you have a reset point, it is so good to have something that inspires you or something to refocus your attention on. You know, we've been talking in collective videos and it comes through whether you're in the water sign family or whatever the case may be. You know, I was saying yesterday, you might have felt called to watch the earth sign, the earth elemental, the earth sign reading because we have a Capricorn stellium. So everyone is kind of feeling the density. We're going to talk about Lemurian. This is a very, very special wand. This is a very special. It is a record keeper. It's got all those cool bar-coded patterns when you see it in natural light. Very beautiful. We're going to talk about this because this is speaking to me, water signs. But just like you may have felt called to the Earth sign video, because we have 4 different planets in Capricorn, and whether you feel natural and at home in the density of Earth and that type of elemental flow, we have a lot of water too, you guys. So I would not be surprised at all. Look at me not having today's chart pulled up. What? To be honest with you, as I'm sure you would guess, at some point, whether I'm studying, working, whatever I'm doing, I have the chart pulled up. And I get a lot of intuitive messages when I look at it as well. But just be mindful. What I'm getting at is that we still have a beautiful placement of Jupiter in Cancer. I love to see that Jupiter is at the 19th degree. We love a good numerological moment, okay? 9 + 1 = 10. So we love that because we're in the year of 10. That's interesting. That could be a confirmation that if you are a water sign or you're drawn to watching this video, Jupiter in Cancer and that placement might have some wisdom to share with you. That might be something great to read about and journal with your own spirit team and your own higher self. Don't forget as well that we are still working with that Neptune in Pisces, with that Saturn in Pisces. That's giving dissolution, right? We're still in that place where we are saying, for real, for real, for real, for real, what do I need to let go? What do I need to let dissolve? We do have all of this water energy. We still have our North Node in Pisces. Today, the moon is actually in Scorpio as well. So, you know, the moon is a quick mover, of course, and in a few days the moon will go on, and that's the beauty of the moon cycles. But yeah, just being mindful that we have still 4 major big water placements. So it's a lot of water, it's a lot of earth in the charts. So again, that is interesting to consider because you may be resonating like, oh, I'm gonna click in and see what's up with the water energy. That may be the case. Some interesting, I don't know, I'm feeling called to say like some interesting things to study too is if you're looking at your chart and you're like, I have never felt so watery. I have never felt so dissolved. I have never felt so in between. Or on the flip side, right, you could be saying, wow, Spiritual messages are just flowing through me. I feel good. I feel like I'm in a place where even though I am in those things, I'm also really able to release. You know, I was talking about when we came past the full moon in Cancer, very beautiful, lots of Sirius star alignment there. And we will be moving closer and closer over the next 7 days. Over this next week, we'll be in that waning with the moon. We'll be preparing to enter. We'll complete the 13th moon cycle, right? If you're curious about that, we talked about things like that in the full moon in Cancer video. And then before you know it, child, we're going to be rebirthing the Lunar New Year. So that's very exciting. But what I'm saying is, and this could be applicable for water signs or, again, whoever's drawn to watch this, right? What I'm saying is, we have all these anuretic, like these finality placements. Saturn getting closer to the last decan, Neptune sitting there, because soon Neptune, by the end of January, Neptune will be in Aries. That's very exciting spiritually. That's very exciting for divine inspiration. But right now, you know, I'm going to say we're walking out the rest of Capricorn season. We're embracing our body, being grounded, nourishing, resting ourselves in these new... Girl, look, friends, I always got some dog hair on this screen. Capricorn can feel super dense. It really can. But what density, and Capricorn is cardinal, right? It's not fixed earth. So cardinal has a way of opening up, right? It's initiation. It's feeling into your body. It is the sea goat, you know, very much. It's so interesting. Sea goat, there you go. You have it again. Earth and water elements. You think maybe of a mountain, but then you think of the whales. Interesting, because when I think of Lemurian, and I think of dolphins and the sea and the whales, right? So we have both of those elements here. What does that teach us? It teaches us, while you are persevering at something, you're also seeing the emotional maturity side of that. You know, while you are being grounded in your body, you're also being really patient with yourself. That's the beauty of a lot of Capricorn. It is still very inward in this season. We are waning down and getting closer and closer to the dark moon, where we'll prepare to enter a whole new lunar cycle, and then we'll be preparing for a whole new Lunar New Year. So going back to what I was saying before, I love that it is the 111 portal. It is 111, and then it's also 10. So we have this whole 11111 sequence. So if that doesn't scream new beginnings today, I don't know what does. So it's a great day for wisdom. It's a great time to still... I know you're like, child, I've been so inward, I don't even know how more inward I can get. And I feel that. I really do. We've went through a lot of water trines, as we are speaking to water family here. But you know what I've noticed, because I've worked for a long time doing one-on-one individual work with people, whether it's tarot or astrology, I feel like water signs are at home in that watery space. Of course you are. That's your nature, right? And even myself, having like a ton of Aquarius in my chart, a lot of my Aquarius placements are super duper, like literally super close, right at the end of Aquarius going into Pisces. So I relate to my water family. Also, you know, Aquarius is the hidden water bearer. So I relate to that energy, but I encourage water sign people when I work with them, and there's a lot of earthy elements in the collective energy. Take that time for grounding, you know, because there is the potentiality of finding yourself a little bit too far in the shadow side of the water element, right? Where you kind of are getting lost in the sauce. And what that feels like sometimes is you're dissolving to the point where maybe you're kind of flowing into like, or how do I say, other people's projections, other perspectives from social media, from the community, from your job, from your family, whoever it is that you call home and live with, or the community. It's like a bleed in. So I'm always encouraging my water family, have good boundaries. Take advantage of Capricorn energy to know that it's okay to I don't know, I'm seeing, Spirit is showing me this clear image of like an empty bucket. Okay, so that can definitely be a message of, you've got to take some time to pour back into yourself. Water family and anyone else who is called to listen to this, right? You embrace and understand that there's going to come a time after Aquarius, after Pisces season. And even I feel like Pisces season, I'm almost seeing like the river, the water's going to start rushing forward a lot more quickly. So there's going to be times where it's going to, for sure this year, definitely spring, transitioning more into summer, the energy is really going to pick up. We're going to be moving forward with that year of the fire horse. Actually, I was just starting to work on sets for the Lunar New Year of the fire horse with candles and oils and incense. So I feel like what I'm saying is you can get to this angsty point, right? And you're like, okay, I've been inward. Like I've been so inward. And I get that, but like, please understand and embrace the time. Please, if you can, find time to sit with yourself a little bit longer. Do some more spiritual baths. Don't rush off into all of those, it's like hopping into a rat race, but then realizing that I'm not even running for that kind of prize anymore. Or, you know what? I always tell people, the gag is that getting back into the race and consuming more and going fast again, there's a whole huge reset. And the way that the amalgamation of all these timelines is going to hit, especially in Aries season, when all these big movers and shakers are going to be in the Aries energy, it's almost like flipping something the way you looked at it upside down. You'll really be moving fast when you learn how to be much more slow. You'll really be doing so much more when you are sitting in alignment, right? And then you realize, I'm not doing 10 things this year. I'm going to do 2 things, but I'm going to do those 2 things so well, and they're going to be so filled with purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of energy that we'll be going for. But we can't really get to that place if we're not doing the rest work, if we're not doing the nourishing. I understand, and hello, Capricorn stellium, right, honey? Like, I understand we have responsibilities. I do too. I have things that I'm having to do as well, but please take the additional time, especially wrapping up this lunar cycle, going into the dark moon, being on point with your spiritual cleansing and alignment. What was it? I was reading this thing, and it was this whole spiritual, energetic type of talk of like, people will be calling in all these things, but then won't be doing like spiritual and energetic hygiene in their own house. Like, it's to this point where it's kind of like, look, now I'm not saying get up and push yourself and do things that, if you're exhausted, I mean, honor your own energy. That's huge right now because it is a really dense time right now. But I'm saying too, like, for example, one of the conversation points in that thing I was reading was like, clean up, to throw things out, or just spiritual cleaning, to be doing your door washes, be refreshing your wards, be cleaning your altar if you haven't had time. I do that consistently and sabbatically just because this is the work that I do every day. But there may be spaces you need to clean. There's things you need to organize, and spirit may be like, ooh, I just can't wait. Remember I told you, water family, I'm seeing an empty bucket. It's almost like spirit and your ancestors and team, right? Your higher self are waiting to just pour a bunch of stuff into you, be it creative muse energy, new inspirations, activations of new connections with people. But you can't be clean. You can't pour water into clogged pipes. You know what I'm saying? But the whole conversation had started on this point of saying like, you just need to clean your house sometimes. You know what I mean? Maybe that's body cleanup. Maybe that's literal house cleanup. I don't know. Take it as you will. And sometimes that also has this effect of dissolution. Maybe, cleansing is interesting because now with the Lemurian stone water family, I'm seeing like, I don't know why, but I'm seeing different selenite stones, which makes me think of energetic cleansing as well. So maybe we need to have a day or two, as we move through this darkening moon, slowly but surely it gets darker and darker before we come to the new moon, right? Throw them windows open. You know what I mean? Let the air move through. Open the door, the front door and the back door. We could sit here and make a list, right? Couldn't we, of different ways we can physically, spiritually, energetically cleanse? You can use sound bowls. You can do your sprays and mists. You can do your floor washes. Maybe you can just do what you can with what you have. Maybe it looks like a simmer pot and you just like, girl, I have some rosemary and some salt in my, okay, that's cool. Do a little rosemary simmer pot and then use that as a floor wash. We can be resourceful, but take advantage of this time is what I'm saying. And yes, I love that today is the 111 portal. You may feel inspired to sit with your journal and read into, feel into with your own intuition. What does 111 mean to me? Learn about it, write with it, meditate. We love a good self-led learner over here. So there's no shortage of information that might inspire you today to kind of find, like we were talking about, a reset point. Okay. So let's get into it. Today, what I've been doing though with these elementals is water signs, I would say. Obviously, if you're a Pisces, you've got huge energy lit up. Please continue, Pisces family, working with the North Node in Pisces. That spiritual alignment, that's dreaming a new dream, but at the same time understanding what it's just really, really time to let go of. Obviously, again, Pisces, you got Saturn, Neptune, and North Node in Pisces. It may be great to look at your own chart and get acquainted with your own North Node as well and understand North Node is a huge, fated destiny point. But if you have big, prominent Pisces placements, also look to the South Node, which is Virgo. And that, remember, we went through this whole year last year, the year of 9. We had all that Virgo energy. So if you're a water sign, if you're also have prominent Pisces placements, you might be evaluating on that opposite end of that North Node. You might be evaluating what things in my daily routine need to go, what things need to be cleansed and purified out of my body, out of my home. You may also be reflecting on last year and thinking about what mental health, what physical health patterns taught you, what you learned about how you work best. South Node in Virgo for my Pisces. But again, any water sign watching this, right? Look, I know if I start shuffling these cards, the card's going to start talking, but let me just wait because I do want to read about the Lemurian stone. But yeah, that's a good point to look at for my Pisces gang. Evaluate also the South Node in Virgo. Okay, that's your 6th house. That's your daily routine. That's how you work. That's what you're eating. That is, for example, maybe you worked out really hard and you did something and it was okay, I did that a lot last year, but now my body is saying this. Okay, so that can be also about listening to your body. Obviously, if you have big Cancer placements, you can definitely glean a lot of emotional wisdom and deep, watery, very much like the spirit of your grandmother's ancestral karma, patterns around mother wounds I'm getting. So if you have Cancer placements, right, Jupiter and Cancer can have a lot to offer you. And then I would say as well, if you're my Scorpios, I really want to encourage you to reflect back on last year, how we did that big work with Black Moon, Lilith, and Scorpio. I want to encourage you to reflect about your 8th house and your shadow work and just, make sure you've kind of gleaned everything that there is to glean, right? From that shadow work. So those are kind of the points that really stand out to me in this chart. As far as big water placements. Water signs, what else do we have going on right now as far as activation points? We've still definitely got some of those trines activated that involve Pluto, that involves Saturn and Neptune. I mean, it can't be said enough. It really can't. How much those water trines have really taught us about. I'm going to beat it like a dead horse, okay, because I want you to get this. And it's just like we've talked about. This is always a good thing to understand, how to compassionately detach, how to put up boundaries and really just say, all right, okay. Enough is enough with this toxic family member already, okay? Enough is enough with this toxic work environment already. Again, doing one-on-one work with people, we have people that are saying, I don't even want to live in this town anymore. Like, what is it that is screaming in your soul after all this work that you've done, right? Of saying, I have just literally had enough with this. Okay, let that be an inspiration point. And then go within and take responsibility of what kind of new life you want to birth, okay? You can't miss the potency of the pocket of time that we're working with here, especially, again, Capricorn and Aquarius season. All right, so let's see what type of messages. I am very well acquainted with the Lemurian stone. But I'm just going to read a few points to you just so you can kind of get acquainted with it as well, because it's just zinging my hand when I pick it up, okay? All right, so the biggest thing about a Lemurian seed quartz is that it is what we call a master crystal, right? And the whole idea is that the Lemurians programmed a lot of these things into the stones and into the waters because they knew that their civilization was coming to a close, and it was kind of like leaving Easter eggs and nuggets and activations in the water. Well, we're talking to water sign family, right? So it's interesting to consider this is the same water that moves through you, that you're drinking, that you're doing spiritual baths in. So it's like these programs in the stone that still energetically flow out into the ethers, flow out through the frequency waves. We're in Pluto and Aquarius too, right? So this energy is liquidating so that it can get out and continue to rebirth the same wisdom through different modalities, through different people, right? Okay, so a Lemurian seed quartz stone is a master crystal, okay? So let me just read a few things to you here, water signs, and this may activate something intuitively within you. You might feel called to possibly see if a Lemurian stone might speak to you or what have you, right? Take it as you will, okay? So it says Lemurian stone, specifically a Lemurian seed quartz. There's a difference because it has to do with the way the lines are striated on it. A Lemurian seed quartz is considered a master crystal in spiritual practices, believed to be programmed with ancient wisdom of lost civilizations of Lemuria. Connection to ancient wisdom, energetic records. Okay, so I'm seeing like the halls of, it's like the halls of the Akashic records, okay? So water family, you may be called to get into meditation, get into a spiritual bath, your spirit team, your higher self. There could be kind of like an amalgamation of past lives and this wisdom that you'll be able to have access to right now before we flow into all of these new timelines, right? So ancient wisdom, yeah, that's going to be a key word. As I've been doing these elemental readings, I've been getting like a lot of these, but I get it. It's kind of a collective energy, right? A lot of people love to choose like a word of the year or when they're setting their intention. So that's kind of been coming through in that format from spirit. Let's type ancient wisdom. Okay, let's not forget that, water signs. Or again, if you're just called to watch this video because spirit had a message for you here, right? Energetic records too. Yeah, energetic records. Yes, ancient wisdom, energetic records. Okay, so maybe you're having dreams. Maybe when you are sleeping or when you're doing a guided meditation, you're astrally projecting because there are some nuggets that are being activated, right? This will probably only be amplified when Uranus moves into Gemini because all those neuron pathways in your mind are going to be lighting up, okay? That can lead to divine inspiration. That can lead to dramatic healing, crazy instant manifestations or big synchronicity. So be open to that, okay, water family? So we have ancient wisdom, we have energetic records. The horizontal striations, this is what I was talking about. They're called barcodes, or some people call them ladders. I wish you could see, but I can't. Maybe you can because the light is coming through the window. It literally does look like a barcode, okay? The barcodes or ladders on the crystal surface are believed to contain encoded spiritual information and universal truths left by Lemurians. Spiritual teaching. Unlike standard quartz used for amplification, Lemurian stones are viewed as teachers that offer guidance for personal and collective evolution. Okay, so you could be looking for a new teacher or mentor, or vice versa. You might be called to teach or mentor, because a lot of my people in soul tribes and families that I connect with, I'm seeing a lot of my friends who we've been walking through paths for like a decade together are now ready to teach all the wisdom that they've gleaned. So we love to see that. So looking for a teacher, being called to teach, water signs, maybe you resonate with that. All right, the second point says chakra alignment and energy work. Chakra activation primarily resonates with the crown and the soul star. If you've watched other videos, you know we've been talking a lot about that soul star. Another one that comes to mind is the causal chakra as well. Hold on. Let me type chakra activation and soul star. All right, waters. So we have ancient wisdom, energetic records, chakra activation, soul star. This facilitates a connection to higher realms to receive divine guidance. It also can activate the third eye for intuition and the heart for compassion. Clearing blockages. That's interesting because remember we saw an empty bucket. That spirit was showing me that because, well, I mean, take it as you will, but it's time to kind of dump out baggage. Like for real. That's like, I got to remove some of this stuff from my social media. I have to clear up my contacts. I have to clean out my home. I have to stop saying yes to people. Okay. I have to block that person. I have to, and when we do that, it's like energy can hold on tight in like dank, sticky places. And when we practice those energetic things, and then we couple that with that good spiritual hygiene, it has a way of pulling our energy back to us very rapidly. Okay. So removal of energetic blockages is coming through very loudly. Okay. These stones are used to remove energetic blockages, heal emotional or karmic wounds from past lives. That's interesting because we were talking about Jupiter and Cancer, which can have a big healing of multiple past lives effect. Cancer is definitely really connected to mothering and familial wounds, not just in one life, but many past lives. You know, the idea and thought that like, people in your family can sometimes incarnate with you because you guys have been in like these soul clusters before, but maybe you had different roles. And that's if you resonate with like, you know, karma and reincarnation, right? But we're in a 10-year, and not only just a 10-year, we're in a year where all of these, there's not astrology to compare hundreds of years backwards or hundreds of years forward, friend. You know what I'm saying? So this type of year, this type of cycle in astrology, when it comes to like, I'm finally just so done, it may not just be for one lifetime. This is the type of moment where you say, actually, I'm just over the karma altogether. I'm ready to walk into my dharma. When I say dharma, hold on, let me write that down, or let me type that too. Water family. So I'm getting dharma. And North Node. Okay, definitely. Please check out my website. Please feel free to send me an email, send me a message. I'm very active on my business page on Facebook. Send me an email. Check out my website. I need to update the website link too, you guys, because I finally fixed it. Oh, snap, I know. I had this whole issue going on with like my domain, and I was having problems. I have been calling customer service, but listen, And then I was just tired. Look, and I took a break at the holidays. I ain't even gonna lie. And I'm gonna be getting back there and working on my website. But yeah, maybe you want to learn about your North Node, okay? Because I'm getting Dharma. And when we think about the Dharmic path, we think about the North Node. And this is a great year to really dig into that. Okay, let's go down to the third point we have here. Spiritual development, oneness, and unity. Okay, this is a big alignment too with the fact that our North Node's in Pisces. So this is very, very spiritual for my water family. This might be the year where you're like, I'm not putting off digging into my spiritual work any longer. I'm not putting off. I'm going to take the astrology classes. I'm going to take the classes with the tarot or the apothecary teacher. Okay, and I think sometimes we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot because we think I'm only going to do something if I'm going to be able to monetize it. And sometimes it does not work that way. And I speak from someone who's been doing this path even back when I was still in the corporate world. It was never really an intention until past a certain point, like this is going to be what I do. Sometimes your soul purpose, it unfolds, you know, so don't shoot yourself in the foot by being like, well, this is my job and I'll never have time to delve in. Don't do that to yourself. Embrace your spiritual development. Water signs, this is coming through really big. Remember so far, keywords we've had: ancient wisdom, energetic records, chakra activation, soul star, Dharma, and your North Node. Okay, that's huge. We're going to have this North Node in Pisces until like, I want to say the summer. And then we're going to even then shift into a North Node in Aquarius. So that's even going to amplify it, right? So this is the time, right? All right, spiritual development, oneness, and unity. A core teaching of the stone is a concept of oneness. Hello, Pisces energy, okay? Reminding the user that they are connected with the universe and each other. So can you just get with me? Maybe this whole reading for my water sign family is just going to be given to us from this Lemurian stone. And I'm not surprised because now you understand how deep this stone is. Connected to the universe and each other, okay? Imagine you were a Lemurian high priestess and you knew because of your vision work and the way that their spiritual community was and the way they lived their lives. They knew in thousands of years their civilization was not going to be able to carry on in the way that it was, right? Maybe they knew, let's say hypothetically, their island was going to sink and they had the ability, right? It makes me think of this book series I read about, it's hard to explain the whole series because it got real deep, y'all, but basically it was based in Atlantean and Lemurian people and how they saw this plague that hit the earth as like this spiritual gift, and they did not view themselves as dying. They viewed themselves as changing forms. And so in this series, go with me here, okay? In this series, much like this stone says, they set up all these ways that their teachings, their energy, their soul codes would go into the earth. So in the idea of thinking that we are all connected to the universe, right? And yes, we have linear time because the way that we incarnate into this density of earth school, if you will, is that we experience it physically. So a certain degree, it does have to be dense, but that's not all there is. There's so much more than that. So if you think about like when you're drinking the water, when you're stepping into a river, which is essentially water is the biggest alchemical current, the most powerful. You are 50 to 70% water in your vessel. You're never not connected. You feel me? Whether you have big water sign placements or you're just here because you resonated with the element of water. Okay? It's just crazy to think like how stones are made and how there's all these stones still in the bottom of the ocean and all of these minerals are connected and it's the same minerals that are in the stars. You get the pattern here? Connected to the universe and each other. That's so big. I feel that water signs, if you're here, if you're listening, there's a big activation in your soul purpose for real. Don't miss that, okay? Intuition and psychic abilities. Meditating with this stone is said to enhance psychic downloads, dream recall, and the ability to channel messages from spirit guides. It is also often associated with the nurturing, intuitive energy of the divine feminine. Jupiter and Cancer, okay? Jupiter and Cancer is coming through really strong in this reading. I would encourage you, if you resonate with this message, sit and read about Jupiter and Cancer and see what wisdom there is there for you, okay? Variations, okay, that's just talking about different types of Lemurian, okay? This is really interesting because it mentions this here in this article, but I attended a teaching lesson about Lemurians seed quartz, and what you do is you actually rub your thumb on the striations, or people say the barcodes, and you get downloads, okay? So let me type that. Ooh, it zings your finger for real. It really does if you do it. Let me type downloads. Pay attention, water family, okay? Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to signs and synchronicities. I hope you have a journal. I hope you can write things down as much as possible, because I think you're going to be activated, highly, highly activated, okay? I feel called. Hold on, water signs. I've mentioned this book before, but I'm going to reiterate it here because this stone is making me think about the Diamond Codex and the Quartz Key, accessing accelerated Stargate systems through crystalline transformation of your genetic codes. Magenta Pixie, she has an amazing series of books if you've never read them. Just be mindful, because, child, when I tell you, you start reading this will be an immediate activation in your DNA. Okay, immediate, I'm telling you. But I feel called to bring up this book again. Maybe you can screenshot it or write down the name if you resonate with this message, okay? All right, let's shuffle the cards. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what we have. I am shuffling. Oh, Spirit is showing me an oracle card. Hold on, you guys. So I'm shuffling. If you've watched the collectives or you do personal work with me, you've probably already seen this, but I'm shuffling the Rainbow Heart Tarot. Okay, this one I've wanted for a long time, and it was gifted to me over the holiday season, so love that. But hold tight, because now Spirit is showing me a card from the Gateway of Light Activation by Cal Gray. Let's see if we can find it. Oh shit, no way. I'm sorry. What the look. I swear to you, I know you just saw me grab it. This is right on the bottom of the deck. There is no way. Spirit's like, yeah, there is. You see it right there. You're right. Look at the pretty colors, though, how they match. I have a blue calcite palm stone, which I've been working with. I've got my Super 7, my Super 7 stone here. It's like color-coded, isn't it? You see the high-level chakra energy, water signs that's coming through. I'm about to read this for you, though. Oh, shit, y'all. I know you see this Akashic Records card is right under it. Spirit, what? Okay. Are we just, maybe we'll just end up doing the oracles today, water signs. Whoa. Excuse me, you guys. Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, and living with grace. Grace, okay. Grace is such a beautiful energy for a Capricorn stellium, and sometimes we miss that because we get stuck in the density, and you're like, oh, it just feels intense. Oh, it feels heavy. But no, it's all in how you carry it. Grace, I typed that down. That's a wonderful word. Let me read to you from the book, though. Lemurian seed codes, okay? That is so crazy, y'all. And Akashic Records? Oh, we got to read both. Lemuria was a civilization that was in the... Okay, yes, I forgot. This book is going to kind of touch on what I was trying to tell you about. This is so good, y'all. Sorry, skin a little parched, okay? Lemuria was a civilization that was in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in ancient times. The inhabitants of the sacred land lived in complete harmony with nature and had a connection with every living being, similar to the movie Avatar. Their inner vision was fully activated to the point where it is thought that their pineal gland was fully developed and they could see hundreds of miles in every direction in a similar way to the sonar of dolphins and whales. That's interesting because I was making a comment about dolphins and whales. And we saw dolphins in the ocean over the holiday break. Wow. Wow. Okay. The majority operated from their heart space, honoring one another and nature so much so that when their civilization came to an end through a cataclysmic event, most likely the plates of the earth shifting, causing volcanic eruptions and a tsunami, most of them ascended. Do you see that? How the wording says they ascended? That really reminds me of that book series that I was reading, because the author wrote it in a way that that's how they viewed it. They didn't view death like that. That's wild to consider. Anyway, let's continue. It is said that these highly attuned beings knew that their civilization would end and decided to send healing waves into another part of the world for future civilizations to benefit from. They telepathically channeled their frequencies into a thought form that would become crystals that would be found thousands, if not maybe millions of years later. These Lemurian seeds are a type of quartz crystal mostly found in Brazil and Colombia. They are powerful crystals with striations similar to barcodes engraved on their faces. They have a feminine receptive energy that is said to help us step into a more feminine way of being in order to help the evolution of the species. Whoa. Okay. Visualize yourself on an island surrounded by pale blue waters, living in harmony with all living beings. If you own a Lemurian seed crystal, hold it in your left hand. Call out to the ancient ones of Lemuria, invite them to share their wisdom. Your message. You are a highly sensitive being. Yes, to my water signs. You might feel that this is a curse, but this card is here to let you know this is a gift. It indicates that you have spent lifetimes upon lifetimes living with a giant shield up to stop the world from seeing the real you. But you are a highly unique soul with incredible gifts that are worth sharing. Through embracing your uniqueness, you can help many others embrace their own. This lifetime is a more graceful existence. There's that word again, grace. It's a more graceful existence with less defense and more trust. It's not about protecting yourself, but stepping into the space of surrender and revealing your true self. Y'all, we have to read Akashic Records. We just have to. Thanks for being here with me. These videos for these elemental readings have been longer, haven't they? Did I pass it, y'all? Oh, here we go. Is it the first card in the book? Yes, listen. We have 11110. The year of 10, the year of 1. It's the first card too, y'all. And it was right under Lemurian. I cannot. It says, clearing old stories. Y'all, listen. Releasing past lives. Freedom. That card is so pretty. Wow. Okay. You could be reading. There could be a lot of spiritual study going on. Again, you could be teaching and mentoring. You could be looking for new spiritual teachers and mentors. Pay attention to that. Okay. Let's read Akashic Records together. Akasha is a Sanskrit word that means ether or sky-based. And as explained above, the Akashic Records are a compendium. I read that wrong, I think. Is it compendium? Anyway, of universal events, experiences, and lifetimes. held in the spiritual realms. Helena Blavatsky. Ooh, dip off into a rabbit hole and learn about Helena. Ooh, that's a good one. Helena Blavatsky, one of the founders of Theosophy, described them as indestructible tablets of astral light. You could be working with meditations that include light, the middle pillar of light, sitting in light and meditating about circulating the light through your body could give you a lot of downloads and activations. Okay. If you have a crystal or a stone to work with, even if you have a Lemurian seed, work with that. Maybe you put it out into the light to kind of wake up some activations. We can visit the Akashic records in dreams, visions, and meditations. When we are transported or guided to connect with them, we are being given the opportunity to take an inventory of our life and all events that have taken place in it, and to gain information on lifetimes past. Ask your angels and guides to direct you to the energy of the Akashic records. If you're feeling stuck or unsure, ask the records to reveal to you any essential soul lessons or information so that you can fulfill your purpose during this lifetime. Okay, let me just reiterate, water sign family, okay? Ancient wisdom, energetic records, chakra activation, soul star, dharma, north node, downloads, grace. What? Okay. When you draw this card, the universe is releasing you from past experiences. These can be soul-based memories, fears from previous lifetimes, or older aspects of this current lifetime that you have moved on from. We opened up this reading talking about that empty bucket, okay? Know that this is the time to reclaim your freedom and rewrite your story. You can do this by following through on your dreams. Gone are the days of fear-based indecision. This is the time to rise up and claim your truth. If you're sitting on a dream or are feeling called to move in a particular direction, it's because you have unearthed an important soul lesson, and it's essential for you to follow that call to clear unwanted energies from your past. As you do so, don't allow yourself to be pulled into expecting the worst possible outcome. Don't do that. And everything in media, all of the fake propaganda, all of these things as these timelines are dying are going to be begging for you to do that. Don't do that. I'm not going to do that. You don't do that, okay? Know that this expectation is not your truth, but it's old energy being released from your energy body. Call in angels to shine their light on any repressed fears, energies, or stories that are no longer serving you. It's time to fly high in freedom. Yes. Yes. You know what? We may see if there is one tarot card, spirit, ancestors, and team. Okay. Team and higher self. Okay. Is there a message from the tarot to close this for my water sign family or anyone who felt called to listen to this message today? I'm excited for us, you guys. I would encourage you too. There is a video about the year of 10. Go check that out too. Happy 111 to you again. I might do a separate video where we just channel some 111 messages for the collective. Ooh, I'm so excited too. I know y'all better get into these dreams and this soul purpose. Yes, let's reset these soul codes. Very exciting energy. Okay, but listen, Spirit is nudging me again. It's not about going fast. It's not about stacking up your calendar. It's actually the opposite, right? And maybe there's an unlocking moment where you actually do the opposite of what you've been doing all these years. And then you open up to this new channel, divine inspiration. Do you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. All right. There's something about the sensitivity of the element of water and how it takes on frequencies around it. Spirit is showing me that whole, I get into the whole, I can't remember the scientist's name. I want to say that he was Japanese, and I hope I'm not misspeaking, but other people even picked up off his studies of water, you know, where like he would speak things to the water in the cup, and then another person picked up his studies about how much water is programmed and the geometry and the sacred quantum things going on now that we have these tools to be able to observe it more acutely. I remember another lady picked up on his studies and studied like freezing water under different moon cycles and watching the patterns and studying them. It was a wild. But that begs to say, if you're sensitive, you need to be mindful. Who are you talking to? What are you watching? What are you reading? What is your repetitive daily pattern of routines? How can we tweak those? How can we let things go we know are not serving us? That's like being around someone. Your body, your energetic frequency, that's 50 to 70% water. Imagine being around someone or connected to someone or working in a place every single day that's just filling your vessel with these projected frequencies that are damaging to like your soul purpose and your pineal gland, your ability to bring your vision down, to write the book, to teach the thing, to sing the song, I don't know, to take the pottery class, to paint the thing. There's so many different ways you could look at it. Be mindful of protecting your energy, okay? That was coming through. Was it for earth signs? Where I went and got my Eye of Horus candle. Yeah, amethyst was coming through in their reading too, okay? A lot of people might benefit from just also watching the earth sign because, again, we're in an earth season with an earth stellium. So there may be messages for you there. All right, Spirit, let's see what we have, Spirit. Wow. I know you see it. Okay, listen. It is 111 in the year of 10. And we have talked about, again, go check out the year of 10 video, but we've talked about how that's 10. That's the wheel. That's completion and new beginnings. That's Jupiterian blessings, okay? Jupiter and Cancer, once again, coming through. But it's also 1 is the magician, just like 0 is the fool, right? So this is the ability to manifest anything you desire. This is singular focus. This is spiritual energy, creative energy, okay? You know what? I know it gets corny and you'd be like, y'all always talking about you have everything you need, but really you do. And what's crazy is it's like we're the batteries in this whole entire grid, okay? You are literally the eternal resource, okay? You literally can co-create anything. Now, I'm not saying we are manifest into a certain grid of density of energy in Earth School. And I do believe that it's ascending and changing in the age of Aquarius, but get with me here. It's not, well, I don't know. Look, in this type of year, we could have a lot of instant manifestation. But play around with yourself and get singularly focused and really tighten down on, I'm not wasting my energy on that. No, but like I'm really not. I'm really removing that pattern from my day, and watch how successful you'll become in what you're trying to create in your reality. I'm telling you. And then mess around and start offering gratitude in real time for things you don't have yet. Start messing around with those. Listen, this is what in my apprenticeship, I'm going to tell y'all know. We had a shaman teacher because I'd studied under a shamanic witch in an apprenticeship for multiple years. And we had a teacher and he would teach about these master keys. Master key number 1 is you need to quit playing around and understand that you are literally the resource. You are a vessel. This is his Jupiter finger, okay? You're a vessel between, metaphorically, the heavens and the earth, right? It's literally all within you. Hello, North Node and Pisces. But it's about what you believe. It's about reprogramming your mind, okay? You can align with all the possibilities that exist. It's all infinite potential, okay? This is reinforcement of that. As above, so below, okay? The universe is your oyster, okay? It's your cauldron, whatever you like, okay? What is it that is emerging? Please understand that you can create it. Master key number 2 is offering gratitude and thankfulness. There's really a switch that you flip to, friends, like when you realize that you actually already have so much of what you need. And you kind of free yourself from this need to consume more, to go out and put more energy into other things, to chase things. And then boom, what happens is you start to hone in that singular focus of your power. And then master key number 3, I would say whatever you're able to visualize. And go on ahead and couple all those things together and see what happens. Okay? But right now, with the magician on the table, with all this spiritual energy flowing through, with all this powerful release of past lives and all this amalgamation, right? Understand that this is really a big time to get clear on your why, get clear on what you're inspired by, and just throw the blinders down, right? On each side of the horse. It makes me think of the Chariot card. So, whoa, what a powerful message coming through for the element of water, for water sign family. Okay. I appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoy this beautiful Sunday. I look forward to reconnecting with you guys soon. Okay. Love you. Take good care. Bye.